So in 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 through 17, it says, "Do not love this world nor the things it offers for you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of your Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. They are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away along with everything that people crave. But anyone who does what pleases God will live forever." So basically, it comes down to what I was saying. Are you looking for something to do that you can use saying that it's in the name of God, but you're actually doing it for yourself? Or are you actually looking for something to do that God truly wants you to do? Because let me tell you something. We can all fool the person next to us. We can fool whoever we go out and talk to. We can fool the people that are in front of us and the audience that's in front of us. But you can't fool God, because God knows exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. So we can do whatever we want to make ourselves seem better, or to make ourselves seem like we have this relationship with God, but God truly knows our heart, and God's the only one who truly knows our heart. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the greatest people in the Bible questioned what God had planned for him. And it was one of God's greatest men, one of his greatest prophets. Truly, this man was unbelievable and he was special. Moses. And I'm going to explain why Moses questioned what God had for him. We're going to take a pause, and there's a link at the bottom of here, and I want you to watch this video. It's from a movie called The Prince of Egypt, and it's when Moses went to speak to God at the burning bush. So take a minute and watch that 4-minute video for me, okay? Thanks. Okay, so the first thing that I take from that video, if you notice, is at the very end when God's uplifting Moses and holding him and caring for him, God finishes it all off by saying, "Moses, through you, I will do my wonders." He doesn't say, "Moses, you will do wonders." He said, "You will do my wonders." And we need to always remember that and stay focused on it, that they are God's wonders that we are working. We are working God's wonders, not wonders of our own. God gave us these gifts. He gave us the ability to do these wonders if we're truly focused on Him. And you see how Moses questioned what God had for him. And if we trust God with everything that we have, why do we sometimes question what He has for us? I'm going to read out of Exodus 3:11 and a few other chapters in Exodus, and they're just going to be examples of Moses questioning God. Okay, so in Exodus 3:11, "But Moses protested to God, 'Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?' In Exodus 4, verse 1, "But Moses protested again, 'What if they won't believe me or listen to me? What if they say the Lord never appeared to you?' In Exodus 4:10 through 11, "But Moses pleaded with the Lord, 'O Lord, I'm not very good with words. I never have been, and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled.' And in Exodus 5, verse 22, "Then Moses went back to the Lord and protested, 'Why have you brought all this trouble on your own people, Lord? Why did you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh as your spokesman, he has been even more brutal to your people, and you have done nothing to rescue them.'" And in Numbers 20, Moses' final disobedience to God was when he was just about to enter the promised land. All the people were thirsty. The Israelites were thirsty. And God said, "Speak to this rock that it may bring forth water." And instead, Moses hit the rock and said, "Is this what we have to do? Is this what we have to do to please you? Who is we?" Moses put himself at the same level with God. Moses finally put himself at the same level with God. And God was the one doing this. If Moses would have spoke to the rock, God would have supplied the water. God did supply the water. Moses didn't do anything that he could have done differently to supply the water himself. It was God that gave it, not Moses. And the fact of the matter is that Moses received, one of the most obedient people to God of all time, received a punishment from God. He was not able to enter the promised land. Even God still loved him, even though he was still one of the greatest men ever mentioned in the Bible. He could not enter the promised land with the Israelites because he did not listen to what God had for him. we need to understand that we have no reason to worry about what we're going to do or what God has for us, because it's all part of the plan and we have the tools to accomplish it. God had something for us, and the minute He made us, the minute He created us in heaven and sent us out here, He knew exactly what it was that we were going to do, and He gave us exactly what we needed to do this. And if He didn't give us what we needed to do, then He'd give us another gift that we needed to do something else. So we need to understand that when we ask God for what we're supposed to do in our lives, it has to be in faith, and we have to take that wholeheartedly, and we have to accept it, and we have to fulfill the mission that God has in front of us. We have to go through that journey, and whatever trial and whatever affliction comes upon us, we need to know that God's going to be there, and He's going to guide us. He's going to work us through it, and we're going to be just fine because God gave us all the tools that we needed to do it. He strengthens us every day, so there's no reason to be scared and there's no reason to fret, because God would never put us in a situation where He couldn't get us out of it. I think that all too often we speak about the great work that we're going to do for God. And we need to understand that it's not a great work that we're going to do for God. It's a great work that God's going to do through us, through you who's watching this right now. God's going to do a great work through you. We're not doing a great work for God. God's doing His great works through us for the world so that we can all see God's presence and walk in His light and walk in His righteousness and one day be in the kingdom with Him. And we need to bring as many people as we can and speak the Word of God diligently and focus so that we can help people to understand that God truly is the light and that He loves all of us with all of His compassion and all of His caring in the world. And He loves us no matter what we do. So what I want you guys to take from this is just remember that you are good enough. And you're blessed to wake up in the morning and see the light and realize that God has something for you. That's what truly makes you blessed. That's what truly makes you different, because everyone has a plan. God has a plan for everyone in this world, but not everyone wakes up in the morning and realizes it one day, asks God, and then He shows it to them in His glory. And they go about and they do it and they're successful, because you will be successful, because God has truly equipped us all with what we need to accomplish His mission for us. And when He calls us and when He has chosen us, we should feel blessed and we should thank Him with everything that we have, because we are going to fulfill what God has for us as long as we stay faithful and obedient and we listen and we execute. And that's what we have to do. So bless all of you, and I'll be talking to you again soon.